In this video, I will be demonstrating a crochet reinforcement for a steek. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm happy to have you here. If you enjoy this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing. A crochet reinforcement is one way of securing a steek before cutting. You work a crochet chain on either side of your cutting line to secure the stitches before cutting. Here's a reinforced steek that has started to be cut. For this method, I prefer to have at least 7 stitches in the steek. That way the reinforcement can be placed away from that center cutting stitch. If there are 5 stitches in the steek, then the reinforcement needs to happen into that cutting stitch, and the risk is increased for accidentally cutting your reinforcement. Working a striped steek can make it much easier to see what stitches need to be crocheted together, because one leg of one color stitch be crocheted to one leg of the stitch next to it of the other color. Here's a single color example. You can steek single color knitting. I've marked the center cut line with a piece of waste yarn. I will be avoiding that center stitch, which is the center of it is my cut line, and working with these 2 stitches on either side. So I need to use one leg, the left leg of the right hand stitch, and the right leg of the left hand stitch. And this will be my column here up the left side of the steek. To work this, you will need a crochet hook and some yarn for reinforcing. I like to use a contrasting color yarn in a little bit lighter weight than the project yarn, and a smaller hook than your working needle size. I place a slip knot on the crochet hook, and then at the cast on edge, right above the cast on edge, from back to front, I go in between those 2 stitches that I will be crocheting together. I yarn over the hook and pull through like so. And then I yarn over the hook once more and pull through. This encloses that cast on edge. Now I pivot the work so that the stitches are presenting perpendicularly to me, and the crochet hook should always move towards the center cutting line. This way the knitting rolls away from the cutting line when you are done. So the finished chain will be on the far side away from the cutting line. Here's my cutting stitch, here's the next stitch, here's the next stitch. So these 2 legs right here will be worked together in a single column all the way up. So I find the first pair and I place my hook like so. Yarn over the hook and pull through. And then stitch by stitch, every row, and then row by row, every row up the work. I crochet these together. This can be more difficult in one color knitting. But if you've done a striped steek, then here you can see that you will be working one leg of the blue together with one leg of the gray, and that can help you keep your line straight. Don't work too tightly. All the way up to the top. If you have bound off stitches at the top of your steek, you can go through under the bind off edge and then yarn over and pull through, and then around once more and pull through. Cut that yarn and pull the last loop through. If, however, you have live stitches at the top of your steek, you will insert your crochet hook through all live stitches, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through once more to secure those live stitches. Now we will pivot the work. So the bound off edge is at the bottom, and we will repeat this process. I have a slip knot on my crochet hook. Now the knitting is upside down. This is my cutting line. This is the stitch next to that center stitch, and this is the other stitch. Therefore, I will be working these two strands together. I will go from back to front under the bind off edge. Here are those two strands to crochet together. So row by row, I will go up being sure to stay in the same column. Again, my hook is moving towards the center of the steek. all the way towards the cast on edge. And then again, go under the cast on edge. And then yarn over once more. Pull a loop through. Cut your yarn and pull the tail through. Like so. If you had live stitches, when you began at this end, you would secure all of the live loops first and then work the crochet reinforcement up. Now we can see the crochet chain lines on either side, pulling these stitches away from the cutting line. And then as you cut, those raw edges curl towards the wrong side. Here's a sample that's been cut completely, and you can see that those raw edges curl all the way to the inside. There is the crocheted reinforcement, and there's the raw steek edge. So that is how to crochet reinforce a steek before cutting. I hope this was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.